Coming up in this edition of Rock11 Now Weekly, Rockville is a community that cares, and the numbers from this year's holiday drive prove it.
Rockville improves the way you get information about projects that may impact your community. We'll explain. And Rockville joins in the fight against opioids. Find out how you can be a part of the city's awareness campaign. More news, more often, right now. This is Rock11 Now Weekly, so let's get into it.
Rockville wants to thank you for helping neighbors in need this holiday season. Rockville's 2018 holiday drive was a huge success thanks to the community's generosity, and the proof is in the numbers. 340 community volunteers donated more than 750 hours during November and December. More than 500 Rockville households received Thanksgiving food baskets and grocery store cards. More than 100 Rockville seniors were treated with a Thanksgiving dinner. The Family Sponsorship Program provided 55 families with gifts tailored to their family's needs. 1,800 toys, books, and games were given to more than 450 children under the age of 12. Gift cards to local grocery stores were offered to 287 seniors and households without children. And finally, 309 teens received gift cards. Many of the donors and partners of this year's drive were recognized by the mayor and council, and a simple suggestion was offered to make next year's holiday drive even more successful.
If every person in Rockville donated $1 to the Rockville Holiday Drive, we'd be able to serve every senior and every family in need. So thank you guys very much, and I look forward to next year.
The holiday drive is a continuous program, and donations are accepted year-round. To find out more, head to rockvillemd.gov/holiday drive. For Rock11 Now Weekly, I'm Craig Buchanan.
The King Farm Task Force has given its recommendations for the 7-acre historic former farmstead to the Mayor and Council. This task force was formed to investigate options for rehabilitation, redevelopment, and community use of the historic property. But before the Mayor and Council make any decisions, they want to hear from you by holding 2 public hearings. The first is Monday at 7 p.m. on February 4th during the Mayor and Council meeting here at City Hall. And the second is on Wednesday, February 27th at 7 p.m. at the King Farm Community Center on Saddle Ridge Circle. To testify, call 240-314-8280 by 4 p.m. on the day of the hearing. You can also submit your testimony in writing at cityclerk@rockvillemd.gov. Or you can mail your testimony to the City Clerk, Director of Council Operations Office at City Hall. The address is right there on your screen. Rockville wants to make sure that you stay informed about projects that may impact your community. That's why the city has created these colorful and easy to recognize advisory postcards for important meetings and projects. On the front of the new advisory postcards, you can clearly see the project or meeting name. For projects, it will include the time frame of the work, as well as locations and even an area map. For meetings, you will see the meeting subject, date, time, and location. On the back of the postcard, you will get a brief description of the project, including contact information for any questions you have, and even where you can find more information on the city's website. So be on the lookout for these new advisory postcards in your mailbox, because if it's happening in your community, you're gonna want to know about it. Still to come on Rock11 Now Weekly, Rockville is not immune to the opioid epidemic that is affecting communities across the country. That's why the city is taking steps to fight back. We'll tell you more about it right after this.
Here's a way to be part of some of Rockville's biggest special events. Why not become a sponsor? Sponsoring a special event is a great way for businesses to get the word out. And with more than 150,000 people expected to attend Rockville's 2019 special events, it is also a great way to connect with potential customers in the city. Hometown Holidays, Rocktoberfest, and the Antique and Classic Car Show are just a few examples of annual events to choose from. Sponsors can select from different levels of support to receive promotional opportunities such as on-site booths, logos on materials, social media postings, and more. To see Rockville's annual events and download a sponsorship packet, visit rockvillemd.gov/sponsorship.
In the last 2 years, more than 11 million people have misused prescription opioid drugs, and over 40,000 people have died from opioid overdoses. Unfortunately, Rockville is not immune to this crisis, and that's why the city wants to take steps to fight back. This year, the city is sponsoring an awareness campaign, Rockville Goes Purple. And since collaboration is essential for success in prevention, we're kicking off our campaign with a special event on March 7th with former professional basketball player and recovery advocate Chris Herron. Herron, who has battled the disease of addiction, has been sober since 2008. His recovery journey has been documented in several small-screen films, including the Emmy-nominated ESPN Films documentary Unguarded. And now his journey of recovery has become the motivation to help others. That's why Herron created the Herron Project. It provides advocacy for individuals, families, and even communities dealing with this growing epidemic. So get informed and be inspired on March 7th at 7 p.m. at the F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater. Rockville will continue its efforts throughout the year that will include an expert panel discussion and even training on how to respond to an opioid overdose. Remember, we're all in this together. That's gonna do it for this edition of Rock11 Now Weekly. Remember, you can check out the latest happenings on our online newsletter at rockvillereports.com. And join in on the conversation and check out our posts by signing up for Nextdoor at nextdoor.com. And keep up with Rockville 11 by subscribing to our City of Rockville YouTube channel. And you can follow us on Twitter at Rockville11, on Instagram at city_of_Rockville, and like us on Facebook. For the entire Rockville 11 team, I'm Kathy Nansler. Until next week, Rockville,